And now, filmed at Green Gulch Farm in California, Thich Nhat Hanh gives instructions in walking meditation practice.
Well, practicing walking meditation is to practice meditation while you walk. And you can be peaceful and happy during the practice. And you walk and you do it as if you are the happiest person in the world. And if you can do that, you succeed in walking meditation. Because we do not set ourselves a goal for a particular destination, so we don't have to worry, to hurry, because there is nothing there for us to get. Therefore, walking is not a means, but an end by itself. So each step you make must make you happy, peaceful, and serene. And each step brings you back to the present moment, which is the only moment in which you can be alive. Make steps as if you print your foot on the ground. And you do not print your anxiety and sorrow on the ground. Instead, you print peace, serenity, and happiness on the ground. And it is possible that to do that, provided that you want very much. Well, if we do not make happy and peaceful steps, and with the eyes of the Bodhisattva, we can look into the footsteps of someone and see the sorrow, anxiety, the fear that the person has left in his footsteps. So we must be able to make steps in which no trace of sorrow and anxiety can be found, only peace and joy. Suppose I have a miraculous power. I would like to bring you to the Pure Land of Amitabha Buddha. If you are Christians, to the kingdom of God. But once we are there, how shall we walk? Shall we bring our sorrows and anxieties on the land of Amitabha Buddha? That way we will pollute the Pure Land, and the Pure Land will become impure. Therefore, it's very important that we can make peaceful, happy steps right here on earth. And as you can make peaceful, happy steps on the earth becomes the Pure Land. And that is something I do not invent. That is said by the Buddha himself. The Pure Land is in our mind. Also, the samsaric world is in our mind. It depends our way of making steps, that this land is a pure land or the samsaric land. Many years ago, I visited the place where the Buddha stayed. I climbed up the mountain where he stayed, and I sat down on the rock that I believe on which he had sat down several times. And I contemplated the sunset that I believe that he had contemplated hundreds of times, maybe thousands of times. And I had the feeling that if we cannot walk like the Buddha, sit like the Buddha, look at things the way the Buddha look, and then you cannot continue the work of the Buddha to afford this world with awareness, with understanding, and with love, happily, serenely. But because we tend to forget, we tend to fall into forgetfulness, that is why we need some kind of instructions in order to keep alive our awareness. Because usually we make one peaceful, happy step, and then two, and then three, and we forget. We lose ourselves, and our steps are no longer peaceful and happy. We go back to the past, or we go wander into the future, and we forget that we are alive in the present moment. Therefore, we need to practice breathing and counting during walking meditation. I suggest that first of all you just walk like this, naturally, paying attention to your breathing. And you measure the length of your breath by the number of steps you make. I just measure the length of my inspiration, inhalation, and my exhalation. And my inhalation are 3 steps long, and my exhalation is also 3 steps long. You might find the inhalation shorter than the exhalation. It's very normal if you are a beginner. And sometimes, according to the path you take, the breathing will be shorter or longer. But pay attention to the number of steps you make while breathing. When you make steps like this, focus your attention on the contact between your foot and the ground. And you breathe with your feet. Your attention is there, the point of contact between you and the earth. And you breathe as if you breathe with your feet. And you count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you have 3 things: the steps, the breathing, and the counting. 3 things. The counting binds the step and the breathing into one. 3 and yet 1. Your concentration, the object of your concentration become 1 and not 3. You try and you see. By counting, you measure the length of your breathing with steps. Therefore, you make the 3 into 1, and that is concentration. And because you are following your breathing, you are practicing counting, that is why you do not lose your awareness. You continue to make peaceful steps for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. And the morning walking meditation is 50 or 55 minutes. And you can be very happy during the practice. So the breathing and the counting are supposed to nourish the awareness about making peaceful, happy steps. If you can make peaceful, happy steps without counting and breathing, it's okay. But I'm afraid that without breathing and counting, you will lose your happiness very soon. Therefore, I think you will need, at least in the beginning, the breathing and the counting. The breathing is very important. Breathing is very essential for our practice. During sitting meditation, during walking meditation, and during carrot cutting meditation. It means that if we know how to breathe, and then we can dwell very long in awareness, mindfulness, and we can stay alive during the day. Breathing is like using a rope in order to climb up to a tree or a wall. If you stop breathing, if you lose the consciousness of breathing, if you forget that you are breathing, and then it's like you abandon the rope and you fall down to the ground. So without following your breath, you fall down to forgetfulness. Therefore, cling to your breathing is a very excellent method to dwell in mindfulness, not to lose yourself